So, Aaron, this is one I know you are very passionate about, communication with the recipients.
Mhm.
You tell me a little bit about the process and what's happened.
Excuse me, I wrote to Devon's recipients within, I think it's about 4 or 5 weeks after his passing. It was really important to me after hearing a little bit about what they, as a recipient, would be going through emotionally, particularly. Obviously, we couldn't help with the physical side of things, but if we could give us some sort of comfort on the emotional side of things, to say, please focus on your healing. Please don't worry about feeling guilty or any of those horrible, useless emotions. That my son would have wanted this. Please know that it's a gift given. It's not given with the expectations to be received with guilt or sadness or anything like that. For us, it needed to be. They needed to know that we wanted them to be okay. And it's just shared a bit about Dev with them, some little stories from his life and what his interests were and things like that. And we wish them well. And if they wish to have communication with us, to please, let us know or let the team know, so that they could get in contact with us. We had, me being an impatient person, I prayed and hoped and again pleaded with the universe about getting something back. I just needed to know that he mattered. And of course, all donors do, just like all recipients matter and all donors matter. But at the time, I got to a really sad place, feeling like, he didn't seem to matter to himself. So being in his bad state of mind, and I needed him to matter. I didn't want him to just be seen as a cadaver. And that in my bad mental state, I was like, is he just an organ? Does he not matter? Is he going to be seen as that? Is there going to be no connection or anything like that? But I didn't get it. I didn't understand, and I hadn't spoken, because we don't know anyone who's been through this process. I didn't have an outreach of people in which to communicate with about, is this normal to be feeling like this? I need something. I need some sort of validation that he matters. So I joined a Facebook page for recipients and donors, and I posted up a little spiel. And I didn't understand at that time that a lot are discouraged from writing for about 12 months, roughly, to give the donor family time to grieve. If I'd understood those things, that lack of communication between the agency, the donor and the recipient, donor family and the recipient, I probably wouldn't have been in such a bad state of mind about that. I was getting angry. I was like, why can't you write to me? But I also didn't have the understanding and of how much compassion actually needs to go. I mean, how could you find the words? I don't know if I could as easily have understood back then. Now I understand, but back then I didn't think about how difficult it would be to even find those, or muster the strength to find those words to say, my donor's important, or please know our thoughts are with you, or anything like that. I am very strongly have changed my mind now, having heard from a couple of his recipients. His heart recipient, his kidney recipient, and his liver recipient wants to have communication with us. So it's been receiving that first communication lifted a huge weight. It was monumental for us as a family to hear that mattered. It was very short and sweet, very to the point, but as cliched as it sounds, it literally took away or offered a comfort unimaginable that I didn't think I needed. And oh my gosh, it was literally soul changing for us. It gave us a whole different perspective, and it was exactly what we needed.
Yeah, so which is exactly what we would hope as, a as a recipient writing a letter to the donor family, how you've described it would be the ultimate, outcome for us. And
Yeah.
I think it's important sharing this story for other recipients like myself to know what it can do for the
Oh, yeah.
donor family, because you naturally get quite hesitant and you don't want to say the wrong thing. And how do I thank someone for doing this? I don't even know how to put it into words. But it doesn't have to be much. It could just be a card. It could be a letter. It could be anything. But it does have a huge impact.
Monumental.
Just as a letter coming the other way, as a recipient and getting a letter from my donor family for the first time, the exact same feeling of just it being so amazing and incredible and helping me on my own journey. And I'm very fortunate now to have probably written about I'm probably up to about 18 or 20 letters over a 14-year period. So it is a big thing, and I think it is important to recognize that there is no set time frame on people writing letters or receiving letters, which can make it difficult. And some people may never receive a letter, or write a letter. It's very, very much a personal decision. And for me, it's hard for me to understand why someone wouldn't write a letter, but for other people, they probably think it's hard for them to understand why I would. So it's so individual, and because it's
Very
so personal as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I would maybe we're different, but for us, just knowing that he mattered and he matters and that they're okay. Not just the donation agency give you an update, yeah, everyone's all good, but to actually hear firsthand on improvements in their life, or learning a little bit about themselves, which we have from his kidney lady.
yeah,
Was just, honestly, I can't articulate it well enough to explain how important that was, particularly to my younger son, that is wanting to have communication from him, because for him it was part of his grieving process. Is he needs to know and learn about these people, like their little story, not anything personal or inappropriate or anything like that, not asking questions as such, but just sharing those things of, I've got a family, I've got grandkids, I'm doing well now, my life is, I was born with this condition or whatever it might be. To hear those simple little things, you can physically see when he was reading it, this lift and this weight lifted off of his shoulders. He got really emotional. He's like, Mum, this is so good. Like, I'm so happy. And that's a huge thing for a little kid, because we've been very, very open with the children about the donation process and what happens, and we've answered their questions very honestly, which it needs to be done. So when he kept asking, Mum, can I write? Can I write? And I would have to say, I'm sorry, darling, you can't write until we're here. We've been instructed that we must wait. We've got to give them time to get better, etc., etc. So he was like, but I want to write to them. I want to write and tell them about my brother. But he was getting a little bit, a bit sad. He's like, why won't they talk to me? But now he's gotten that communication. He's so thrilled. Like, it doesn't just affect the mother, father, or anything, but it really does lift the little ones as well, which is, I honestly, I can't say thank you. The gratitude I have to his recipients for writing back to us is unbelievable, not just for myself and, the immediate family, but for his friends and everything as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a huge impact both ways. And I think if hopefully this interview and other interviews on the website encourage people to just communicate.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the hardest thing in the world.
No.
And it helps everyone. So
it does. It really, and the kids have done up their Christmas cards to the recipients to send off. So hopefully they'll get those before Christmas. They've made sure they've written their little blurbs in the Christmas cards for everybody. So they're pretty excited to send them off so that they know that we want them to have a good Christmas and enjoy.